Imagine a girl riding her old bicycle to school with her head held low, clutching her bag tightly. She's new, quiet, and trying to hide from attention. But in the blink of an eye, a rich boy with too much pride and too little kindness yanks her off her bike, laughing with his friends. What he never expected was the fire that burned inside her, a strength born from pain, loss, and survival. That day, in front of everyone, she didn't just fall, she rose, and her kick left more than his teeth on the ground. It left a lesson no one in that school would ever forget. Stay with me till the end, because this isn't just about a fight. It's about courage, respect, and how sometimes the quietest ones carry the loudest strength. The morning sun had just begun to stretch across the small town as Alina pedaled her rusty old bicycle toward her new school. Her mother had saved for weeks to buy her that bike from a second-hand store, and even though the chain squeaked with every turn, Alina treated it like a treasure. She wasn't like the others who would arrive in polished cars. She was the daughter of a seamstress, the girl who knew what it meant to fight for every single thing she had. As she reached the school gates, a sleek black SUV rolled up beside her. Inside sat Ryan, the golden boy of the school, born into wealth, always surrounded by laughter and admiration. He never had to struggle, and maybe that's why he looked down on those who did. "Hey, new girl!" Ryan shouted, smirking as he leaned out the window. "Nice bike!" "Did you pull it out of a dumpster?" His friends roared with laughter. Alina gripped her handlebars tighter. She had promised her mother she wouldn't get into trouble, but she also promised herself she would never let anyone humiliate her. Before she could react, Ryan jumped out of the car, grabbed the back of her bag, and yanked her off her bike. She hit the ground hard, the gravel scraping her palms and knees. The crowd around them burst into laughter. To them, this was entertainment. To Alina, it was a moment of fire. Ryan leaned over her, sneering. "You don't belong here. Go back to wherever you came from." Alina rose slowly, dusting off her torn sleeve. Her eyes locked on his, not with fear, but with something sharper. She remembered her father's words before he passed away. "If they push you down, don't just get up, stand taller." Ryan shoved her bike aside, making sure it toppled with a loud clang. That was the final straw. Alina adjusted her stance, planted her foot firmly, and with one swift, precise movement, a kick she had learned in the self-defense classes her father once took her to, she struck him square in the face. The laughter stopped instantly. Ryan staggered back, clutching his mouth, his arrogant grin shattered along with his front teeth. Gasps filled the air. The rich boy who thought he owned the world had just been knocked down by the girl he tried to humiliate. But Alina didn't gloat. She simply picked up her bike, lifted her chin, and walked through the stunned silence toward the school doors. That was the day her story began. Rumors spread faster than wildfire. By lunchtime, everyone in the school had heard about the new girl who stood up to Ryan. Some admired her, whispering with awe. Others feared her, giving her space in the cafeteria. And Ryan? He sat with his bruised pride, avoiding smiles that once belonged to him. But the real challenge for Alina wasn't just facing Ryan again. It was surviving in a world that always seemed to test her strength. After school, she found hateful notes stuffed in her locker. Ryan's friends muttered threats under their breath when she passed by. Still, she kept her head high. Days turned into weeks. Ryan tried to regain his power with jokes and taunts, but every time he looked at Alina, something inside him faltered. He remembered the look in her eyes, that unshakable fire. He began to realize she wasn't just strong physically, she carried a strength he had never known. One afternoon, as Alina sat in the library, Ryan approached her. For the first time, there was no smirk on his face. He hesitated, then spoke quietly. "I shouldn't have done that, I was wrong." Alina studied him for a long moment. Forgiveness wasn't easy, but her mother had always taught her that bitterness only chains the soul. "It's not about me, Ryan," she said softly. "It's about you. Learn respect, not just for me, but for everyone who isn't like you." Those words struck deeper than her kick had. By the end of the semester, something unexpected happened. Ryan's arrogance began to fade. He started sitting with students he once ignored. He helped a boy pick up books instead of laughing when he dropped them. Slowly, people began to notice the change. And Alina, she became more than just the girl who knocked out Ryan's teeth. She became the girl who changed him. Her story spread beyond the school, a reminder that courage isn't about fists or kicks, but about standing up for yourself and others with dignity. In life, People will try to pull you down, sometimes out of arrogance, sometimes out of fear. But strength doesn't lie in how hard you can hit back. It lies in how firmly you rise, how deeply you stand in your truth, and how bravely you inspire change in those around you. Alina's kick may have knocked out Ryan's teeth, but her courage knocked sense into his heart. And that's a victory far greater than any fight.